Alright, welcome to part 3 of Playing Fast. Special thanks to Ronnie Shellist and Adam Gusso for getting me to do this YouTube stuff. It's been a hell of a time for me getting it all up here and loaded up, so I hope you guys are digging it. I'm having fun with it. Anyway, part 3, I showed you guys the pentatonic scale. Showed you some stuff to do with it. Showed you some more stuff. In earlier episodes, I showed you some breathing patterns or some little triplet. And I don't know how thorough I was, but I want to get into more of those little triplet riffs and stuff like that. So anyway, one of some of the first fast stuff I heard being done that way was, of course, by Pat Ramsey, who I got right here. Don't forget to visit patramsey.com, order his CDs, and check out his YouTube stuff. He is absolutely the greatest modern harmonica player. I got all my stuff from him. Anyway, you want to check out some of the triplets that I heard Pat doing, and also Peter Madcat Ruth does a lot of this type of stuff. So a lot of it I started learning, a lot of my fast stuff started on the 4-hole, mostly the 4-draw bend, the 4-draw, and the 5-draw. So like these riffs. Or well, let me show you how I get all that stuff. Well, the first one and the easiest one is just, it's sort of like the one I showed you earlier with the 2-draw bend, 1-draw. And you can just do different things with the rhythms, you know. Instead of da-da-do, 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 ba-da-do, ba-da-do, da-da-do, ba-da-do, ba-da-do. I actually sang a different note, but anyway, you get the idea. Or, and I talked about learning them backwards too. And then just getting your speed up like that. It's a little tricky. Some riffs are a lot harder backwards than they are forwards and vice versa. So you can do the same thing on the 4-hole draw. 4-hole draw, 4-hole draw bend, 3-draw. Okay, and this is actually a movable riff. I mean, I showed you on the first one. And then you can move it up to the 3 even. By the way, this is an E-flat harmonica. And then up to the 4. Up to the 5. It doesn't really bend a whole step there, but it bends a microtone and it gives the illusion or the inflection of the other riff. And then up to the 6. Now the holes don't bend on the draw, so if you wanted to get those up top, and on, that's a pretty tough one up there in an E-flat. Anyway, so they're movable. You don't want to move them too much, otherwise it'll sound kind of hokey. It can be kind of overdone, really easy. So anyway, you get one rhythm, and then you change the rhythm. And then you start adding in maybe another one. So you learn, that's 4-draw bend, 4-draw, 5-draw. And I'm actually just making this up as I go along. I've probably done this riff before, but I'm not sure what it's going to sound like, or if I'll be able to play it that fast without practice, but it's... Okay? So now that was a little hard because I had to jump back so I could string it even further together. Anyway, I've never played that one before, I swear to God, and I just came up with that. And there's a million of these things. which is why it's cool, because you can learn them from me or learn them from Pat, and then pretty soon you'll have your own versions of them, which is what it's all about. Imitate, assimilate, then innovate. So anyway, there's a whole infinite amount of things there. You could go, and the first one I just showed you, 4-draw bend, then 3-draw. Then you could grab it from the 4-draw bend again and go down to the 3-draw, then back up to the 4-draw bend, and then to the 4-draw. And repeat the riff when you get back to the 4-draw. Now this is one I have done before, even though I didn't do it right there. Actually, I haven't done that one exactly like that. I do it a little bit different, like. I'm just making them up, actually. I can't stop it, but. There's another one. So you can take this 4-draw bend, 4-draw, 5-draw. You've heard that one a lot out of a lot of different guys, but you can, when you start to play it fast, what's happening is I'm going back to the 4-draw and bending back up to the 4-draw bend and starting it again. So it makes it easier because I don't have to jump back to another note. But that's a really good thing to be able to do. And what I like about the way I play fast sometimes is that it's kind of thought out most of the time. I'm like coming back to a certain note and starting again. And it would be easier for me to go. But it doesn't sound as deliberate, and it sounds very kind of harmonica-ish, which is not a bad thing if you're going for that. And you shouldn't ever be afraid to have it sound like a harmonica, but you want to be deliberate with what you're delivering, especially when you're playing fast, because you're really opening yourself up to a lot of criticism, take it from me, right away, where people will say that they're just patterns, or that there's very little technique, or less is more, and all of that. So if you're going to play fast, you might want to play deliberately, not only for the musicality of it, but just to know that you're not shortchanging yourself in the long run musically. You're actually developing worthwhile chops and just bringing them up to a faster speed, which is really what I'm after, and really why I'm not showing you guys some of this kind of stuff. Which is just me really breathing in and out rapidly and randomly throughout the instrument. All right, that should be a long lesson for that. There's a lot of riffs in there. The reason I didn't get too deep into each one is because I want you guys to figure out your own. And God knows, I mean, I don't even have all of mine figured out to tell you. So, but they're all over the place, and have fun with them. Thanks.